Another college football season is come and gone, and the Super Bowl is just weeks away. So to start this week's Explore Tulsa, we meet the team that everyone turns to on game day.
Then a place to look your best.
Followed by the right mojo for your Joe.
Plus the craftiest guy in town.
Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. It's wonderful to see you back with us for this week's Explore Tulsa. Now, Stevie, did you watch the college championship games?
Yeah, I did, and was very impressed to find out that Nick Saban, only 5'6" tall, yay, short guys.
He's also the highest paid college coach, making just over $7 million a year.
That's $106,000 per inch. Just goes to show you that you get more value per inch with us short guys. How's the weather up there, Trish?
Yeah, there's only one way to find out for sure, and that's by taking a trip to the National Weather Service office in Tulsa and visit with Steve Piltz.
Well, right before I was born in 1957, the town was hit by an F4, so there was an F5 in 25 and then an F4 in 57, so it was pretty fresh when I was young, and you could just tell the community just really wanted to know what was going to happen next. And so I began to pay attention, and before long, people would start asking me, even when I was little, like, hey, what do you think it's going to do today? So I began to volunteer to go to the basement of City Hall during tornado watches and severe thunderstorm watches and help run the radios and gather reports from the field. So I had an interest there too, but eventually I went off to St. Louis, to the University of St. Louis, and got a degree in meteorology and joined the Weather Service. Some of it starts back in the history of the country with some of the more important airports, and I think Tulsa was seen as having kind of an important airport. It was an important area of the country, and so eventually a weather office evolved, and we've actually taken the office in the 90s and moved it from just a local service office to a forecast office. Well, just even on a blue sky day, there are things that we have to do. We're responsible for the aviation forecast for the airports in the area, so we're putting out cloud information and visibility and wind direction type forecasts for Tulsa and Riverside and McAllister and Fayetteville, Fort Smith, XNA Airport in Northwest Arkansas. So we have all that going on a daily basis. Plus we're making the general 7-day forecast that's out there too. The radar was at the airport, it was in a dark room, and someone called off the azimuth and the range in kilometers to where they thought the most important storm was. We took a grease pencil, and with a map underneath plastic, we would plot that out and say, hey, that's over Sapulpa, we're going to need a warning for Creek in Tulsa County, and we would go from there. And that was back when the TV stations were already starting to have color Doppler, and so my wife came up and said, really, you're using a grease pencil while the guys on TV are showing me color radar? Basic definition of the rain chances and the snow chances go back to whether you're going to see something that you can measure or not. And so it doesn't, if you say there's a 100% chance of rain, that doesn't mean it's going to come a flood. That just means we should see measurable rainfall that day. But at the same time, we have forecasters who were born and raised in Oklahoma that work in this office and born and raised in the region and have been here for a long time. And so they know at times when to deviate from that computer information. But folks kind of know that once we start going above 40 and 50%, the chances of getting wet are starting to go up, and they know to be prepared. Well, Tulsa sits in a kind of a unique spot, as does a lot of the area here in the middle part of the country, where we have easy access to Arctic air in the winter. It can come right down the flat plains. We have easy access to moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. We also have dry air that comes in from the southwest, and so all these different air masses can meet here in the middle part of the country, right around Tulsa, and can cause the weather patterns to shift very quickly. But of course, in the busiest times are tornado nights and flood nights, when we have warnings flying all over the place, and we'll fill this room with every seat being filled. The big blizzard from a couple years ago, we put out a blizzard warning while there was still sun dimly shining, and you just don't do that in Oklahoma. Snow is awful hard to forecast here, but that was a situation where we had a pretty good handle on it. And I remember my son, who was going to the University of Oklahoma then, he calls me and said, what did you people do? We've already closed school for tomorrow. And that was pretty exciting. And then several of us were trapped here for a couple of days because we just couldn't get out. And then of course we had severe weather. Even this last year, on the day of the Sand Springs tornado, the windows were blown out at the bottom floor of the office, and a lot of cars here lost windows because a tornado actually touched down near the office, and we experienced an 80 or 90 mile an hour wind gust. The big ice storms that have happened over the last 10 years or so, where Tulsa was, a lot of it was out of power for 3 or 4 days, and outlying areas out of power for a week or two. Those are things where, if we have a handle on it, we feel like we really made an impact because we were able to tell folks a few days in advance. And for the ice storm, for example, we held a conference call with the state, and they were able to lift interstate restrictions for the big trucks before the storm hit. That way the power poles could start coming into Oklahoma actually before the ice storm occurred. Instead of having the ice storm down and then waiting for the restrictions to be lifted by the governor, all that happened kind of seamlessly then, and we felt pretty good about that. It's pretty exciting just to be able to watch this evolution of things and kind of know now that if we come to a consensus here in the office that the forecasters really believe something's going to happen, I can pick up the phone and talk to some important people and things will start to happen, and that's pretty satisfying from both the scientific standpoint and the relationship standpoint.
You know, the great thing about the team that Steve works with at the National Weather Service is that virtually every outdoor sport is affected by their work.
Yeah, and much more like flights at the airport, construction.
Yeah, I guess that stuff too.
To learn more about the National Weather Service, visit srh.noaa.gov.
What do you think, Trish? You like that I went with the sweater look today?
Yeah, it's a good look for you. Why are you looking at me like that?
Well, I was wondering we might time to do something about your look. Maybe we should stop in and ask Abby at Urban Couture if she might have a better thing going on for you when we return with more Explore Tulsa.
For over 33 years, Video Revolution has been Tulsa's headquarters for all the best name brands of cutting-edge electronics. The experts at Video Revolution can put it all together for that ultimate home theater experience. Video Revolution on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis for Tulsa's best team of qualified sales, service, and installation technicians.
John Erling with Voices of Oklahoma. Our great state has been home to countless individuals whose place in history has been earned through each of their many accomplishments. Voices of Oklahoma's mission is to preserve their story in an oral history presentation like none other. Accounts direct from famous Oklahomans, political figures, and many others who have left their indelible mark on the development, history, and future of Oklahoma. So please, treat yourself by listening to those who are the voices of Oklahoma.
Hi again. If you still have a little Christmas cash left and like to shop, you'll be so glad you stuck around for more Explore Tulsa.
I think the hardest thing that any man could ever do is shop for clothes for his wife or girlfriend. But after many years of experience, I have learned the secret.
What's that? Always buy something super expensive?
Well, that too. But when it comes to size, always buy her something in the petite section. Save that gift receipt.
Smart man. But you could also stop in at Urban Couture and let Abby and her fashion experts help you with all the latest looks to keep the woman in your life very happy.
We don't even call them customers, we call them our friends because we just love seeing them come in. We'll run to them and hug them and we're so glad you're in today and everything, and it's true, we become really good friends with all of them. I have a family full of entrepreneurs, and so it was really fun to start up and everything. It's a really awesome business to have. It was my dad's idea, actually. We were just sitting on the couch one night and I said, "Dad, I might take up your plan to open a store," and he said, "Okay, think of a name and we'll get the EIN number." And the next day I was getting my sales tax permit and it just started from there. It was kind of hard to figure out how South Tulsa, was, and it took a while to figure out how they dress exactly, but I think we really have it down to a T because our things sell very, very quickly. Tulsa is very casual and comfy, and they want cute, but they want it to where it's, comfortable all day. And, in other states it'll be a little bit different, it'll be a little bit dressier, but we don't mind it at all. I mean, everything here is really comfortable, and it is a little different every time you go somewhere. I mean, I've been to several states and everything, and we go to different states to buy our clothing. We don't want to always just go to Dallas. We want to go to Atlanta, New York, and Chicago, and Vegas, and everything like that to see different things and bring different things to Tulsa. I think we kind of nailed our vision, if not better. We want it to be very like New York and not anything like Tulsa has ever had. We want it to be very fancy, but with low, good prices, and I think we nailed that. Everyone compliments it whenever they come in the store. It's kind of the place that people come for when they're looking for an outfit. And we have casual things, we have dressy things, we have anything in between. We have anything you could ever imagine in here. So. Every time someone comes in, we say, what are you looking for? Are you looking for anything? Do you need an outfit? Sometimes they'll say, oh, I'm just shopping, and sometimes they'll say, this is exactly what I want. So we'll run around the store, pick out everything for them, throw it in a fitting room and say, here it is, and they always find everything every single time. We've been with guys for hours looking for gifts and stuff like that. So if they don't find anything, obviously they can do a gift certificate, but they always find something and their wives are always very happy. We have very little, exchanges or returns when it comes to gifts, because we know the customers too, and if they've been in before, we can really nail it every time. It is hard to compete with things that are online because a lot of people want to sit at home in their pajamas and shop and whatnot, and we'll ship to anybody anywhere. That's not a problem with us. But we love having people come in and get the experience and talk to them, become friends with them, and people always come back. They don't ever need anything to be shipped because they want to come in and have that experience with us. I was a little scared. I don't know if I knew it was going to be this hard of a job, but I think everyone kind of looks at it as just shopping, and it's not that at all. There's many things that go into it, but it's the best job ever. I don't think I'd ever, want to lose it, and it's probably the best thing that's ever happened to my family. It's really awesome. Yeah, I was a dental hygienist, and I was not thinking anything about retail. I've never done anything retail. I didn't get my first job until I was 19, so this was totally crazy to do, but it's awesome, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. It can be tough working with family sometimes, but again, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I love being with my sister, my mom, my dad, and all my family 24/7. It's honestly the best thing that could ever happen. We're very, very close, and then our girls are just like family also.
Abby and her crew are really great, and I always love hearing a story where an entire family can find a way to make a business work together.
To get a peek at some of their styles, visit urbancouturetulsa.com or stop by their shop at 106th and Memorial. Let Abby and her girls find something that looks best for you.
For me, the best part about shopping with my wife is the chill part, where I give my wallet a break and sit down for a nice cup of joe.
A favorite place for Tulsans to do just that is the coffee house on Cherry Street.
That's where we're going to meet owner Cherie Asher when we come back with more Explore Tulsa.
I want to get a new TV. There's like 1,000 different brands, all with different features. I wish I could make sense of it all. What do you think is best?
You should go to Video Revolution. Their experts will tell you everything you need to know. They carry the latest LED and 4K TVs and will even install it and set it up for you too.
She's right. You wouldn't talk to anyone but your dentist about your bicuspid. So when it comes to home entertainment, only trust the experts at Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Hi, I'm Sarah Thompson with Expo Square and the Tulsa State Fair, and you're watching Explore Tulsa.
Explore Tulsa has been on the air now for 5 years. And because you've been so loyal to us for so long, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
A secret? What kind of secret?
Myself, I'm not a big coffee drinker. But if it wasn't for those little coffee beans ground to perfection, Trish would be a big mess. Talking really slow.
I do love me some coffee, and a fun place to hang out for the atmosphere and the coffee has to be the coffee house on Cherry Street.
Laid back, friendly, compassionate, giving. Those are things that I try to focus on, and I think the shop carries that also. When we were closing out the casino company that was here from California, I just decided that I would do something that I just love to do. And I love retail, and I love people and just visiting with them and interacting in this type of situation. I live in this area and wanted to provide something to this community, the Swan Lake area, for local artists, for kids in the area, for families that are back in this neighborhood and just in this Maple Ridge area. We opened, and it was a great support by the neighborhood. the community in Midtown, local artists, musicians, downtown business people. In the beginning, I just thought I was going to have this fun little quaint coffee shop, and it does feel that way. And behind the scenes, it's larger and quite busy. There's 21 employees that work here, and most of them are full-time. We have a full kitchen, and from the front, you don't quite realize that, but the kitchen's larger than the front of the house. So in the mornings, we do full breakfast, bacon, eggs, sausage, waffles, pancakes, that type of thing. And then from 1 to 9, we have bakers come in, and they bake all the cheesecakes and pies and cookies and cakes, and custom orders get done through the afternoon. People be like, who decorated? Oh my gosh. And I'm like, nobody really. So it's just sort of dark and quiet and cavey. It's a lot like a retreat, and I typically keep my home in the same situation. We've had some that have been some of our first customers that ever came in are still here. Some of those first customers work here now, which is fun too. And then you'll see a pattern. Some customers come and they're here for several years, and then they'll branch out and they'll try other coffee shops, or some people do ours in the morning and someone else in the afternoon. So it's just a good mix, and each shop in this area provides a little something different. The shop is actually more what the community wanted and needed than maybe what I had thought we were going to be. But I knew that, I had put it here for them. So as they would say, could you do this, or will you do this for us? And I'm like, well, yes, we will, we can, And so we sort of evolved into the coffee house on Cherry Street, your neighborhood bakery. So I had no idea we were going to do all of the baked goods that we actually do, or get into specialty baking. And the gluten-free hadn't even started yet. So, 9 years ago, you just didn't hear about it. And then now it's, we were pushed into a corner. You have to get me something to eat, I'm gluten-free. So we just explored that a little further and figured it out. And it's delicious, we love it. We did not have all this food to start with. We just had coffee and a few pastries, and so we've just kind of evolved and grown and become a community center, if you will, for the area, which has been really, really fun.
Sheree is so much fun to just hang out with, and with baked goods along with the occasional music act, she really has made her place a perfect hangout and just to chill.
To learn more, visit them on Facebook or online at thecoffeeshop.cherrystreet.com.
You ever seen any of those TV shows where a master craftsman takes just about anything and turns it into a work of art?
We have a guy like that right here in Tulsa. Jamar has been working with wood and restoring things all of his life.
And next up, we'll all be amazed by his craftsmanship when Explore Tulsa continues.
Send me some love.
Look at us. We woke up one morning with every song that ever mattered to anyone. So now what? Music's meant to be heard, out loud, where your life happens, where you dance, where you love, and where you live. When everyone has every song ever written, what matters most is how you listen.
Come hear for yourself at Video Revolution. Have you outgrown your home entertainment system? Then it's time to step up with Video Revolution and Sony for the ultimate 4K home theater experience. Size does matter when it comes to the quality and enjoyment that you get from a home entertainment system. Engineered by the experts at Video Revolution on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Hey, it's Stevie from Explore Tulsa with my friend and optometrist for many years, Dr. Robert Zellner. Tell everybody why it's so good to come in to see you.
Well, that's a great question. Let's see, we've got 2 great locations. We try to stay cutting edge at every point along the way because let's face it, everybody wants to come in and get taken care of in a timely fashion and get the latest, greatest stuff and save some money and get on with their life. And see clearly.
And if you don't believe it, look on the website.
Absolutely, drzellner.com. You can find that we have our 2 locations at 69th and Memorial and 3030 South Harvard, or you can give us a call at 749-2020 or 461-2020.
And I got 4 kids, and I gotta tell you, as a big family like that, it's affordable too.
Oh yes, and of course, the number 1 reason, you save some money. I mean, with our 2-pair specials, with our different unique packages that we put together, I mean, you can come in here and your money can go a lot farther than anywhere else.
And that's why with Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates, seeing is believing.
Oh, I like that, Stevie. Well done.
Hi, I'm Big Anthony, and I'm with Big Anthony's Barbecue, and you're watching Explore Tulsa.
Hey, I'm so glad you're here for more Explore Tulsa. Check this out, Trish.
Oh, you got your driver's license. Oh, I'm so proud of you.
No, right there. According to the state of Oklahoma, I have been officially deemed to have bro eyes.
Oh my gosh, it says you have brown eyes.
No. It says right here in an official sealed document of the state of Oklahoma, I am a bro in the OK. Must be pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, real cool, but probably not as hip as our master craftsman, Kyle Jamar, who expresses his talent in all sorts of creative projects.
Yeah, my mom and dad were can-do-it people. I mean, if they wanted something, they built it. So I always got stuck with holding the dumb end of the stick or the paintbrush. Building a deck, packing bearings on trailers, cleaning stuff up, polishing stuff. And then my brother-in-law was also real influential. He was a car collector, so we always polished on cars. Racing, drag racing, stuff like that, messing around with carburetors, pulling, setting valves, and rebuilding engines. I was a hardwood flooring contractor for 15 years. And, I really started to get some cool tools. And then once oh man, I can get this tool, I can do this, awesome. And that's kind of how it started. And then I started messing around with old boats, and that was all she wrote. It started out with a bunch of hand tools, going to antique stores and finding old hand planes, nice set of chisels, and kind of expounding there. And then I took a welding class at the Votech, and that started the whole metal side of things. And before I knew it, I had a nice TIG machine, a good MIG machine, plasma cutters, band saws, and it just kind of grows. And then you got a collection of grinders, one for every occasion. It's a 1958 Airstream Overlander, and I bought it as an empty shell, and I put an Italian-made Forno Bravo wood-fired oven in it. And from there, being a wood floor guy, I could buy wood flooring cheaper than I could linoleum, so why not? Next thing I know, we've got a herringbone floor in it. Well, if it's got a herringbone floor, it deserves mahogany cabinetry and butcher block countertops. And then it just kind of escalated from there, and then everything needed to be polished and mirrored out, and all the systems just top flight. I think it's going to be sold to either someone that retired very well and wants to do a little side job, or it's going to go to someone that tailgates an awful lot. It is kind of the ultimate tailgater. Right now we've got a 55 Airstream going on, and it doesn't look like much, but it's going to be a mobile bar. I'm way excited about this. The sides are going to gull wing open, and they're going to do private catering and parties. It just kind of, each piece speaks to you. I was commissioned to build a early 1800s Korean blanket chest, and the joinery was all dovetail, and then the trick was to make it look old out of new wood. So it had quite the antiquing process going on. And then we did a bunch of hammer forged steel and turned it to bronze and coated it. And the cool thing about it, it sits at the foot of a bed, and when the lady turns her TV on, it pops out. So it's totally nondescript television hiding in an old cabinet. Another lady recently brought me just a huge stack of walnut and asked me to make a farm table out of it. So that was the challenge, is figuring out how to work around all the cracks and the knots and everything else and make it work. I'm really grateful. I've had jobs, and the wood floors I enjoyed. I mean, at least I was my own boss. But you know, and there was some reward whenever we got to do the foam floors, but day in, day out, it was production work. We worked for 85 active builders at one point, and it was a huge operation, and it was a lot of responsibility. We had a lot of guys working for us, and so we had a lot of mouths to keep fed, and the pressure was just overwhelming at times. So to step back, step away from that paycheck also, and really kind of reevaluate what I wanted. I enjoyed being in my shop, and I got cranky when I had to leave. And it was at that point I realized I need to move on. It's time. So I found this space here downtown and made the big move. And there's been tough days, but it's all worth it. It really, I'm pretty blessed, and I get to work for really cool people that want me working for them. It's not a have-to situation. Everybody that brings me something really wants it, and they desire this object, so that makes you feel pretty good.
Kyle is so awesome, and with each and every new project, he strips it down to the bare essence and then reveals it for its true beauty.
He is a master of his craft, and to see more of his work for yourself, visit KyleJamar.com.
Kyle's a lot of great tools, but I didn't see the one that gets things done right every time at my place.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Duct tape. Works on everything.
Yeah, let me see that. You're right, works like a champ. Stick around, there's more Explore Tulsa just ahead.
Hi, Dr. Robert Zellner here. For over 20 years, I've offered affordable, convenient eye care in Tulsa. Right now, you can get one pair of glasses or contact lenses starting at just $99, or my two-pair deal for $129. Hey, and as always, the eye exam's included. Walk-ins are always welcome. Glasses are ready in about an hour. Plus, we have over 2,000 frames to choose from. We're open 7 days a week. Come see why we're voted Tulsa's best. And our drive-thru at 69th and Memorial makes pickup simple and easy. For the best eye care value in Tulsa, Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates.
We're the Spotlight Theater performers,
and you're watching Explore Tulsa.
Be sure to join us next week when we meet Mr. Gadget himself, J.P. Hewitt at the Gadget Company.
Special thanks to Steve Piltz and all the folks at the Tulsa National Weather Service for keeping us weather conscious and safe each and every day.
Well, thanks to Abby Emmerich, her family and staff for keeping Tulsa looking in style at the Urban Couture. And thanks to Cherie Asher for giving us a place to gather for a fun time with great coffee and friends.
Also thanks to Kyle Jamar. We love your beautiful woodwork and look forward to seeing even more in the future.
Remember, if you miss any of the show, you can always catch us at exploretulsa.com.
As always, each week we feature the people, places, and attractions that make us proud to call Tulsa our home.
Hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook. Share with us someone you think Tulsa should know more about.
Plus, remember, Explore Tulsa is brought to you by Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Stop by, say hello to Ron and all the guys for your home entertainment needs.
And Explore Tulsa is also proudly brought to you by Dr. Robert Zollner and Associates.
Home of the two-pair deals starting at just $99 with 2 locations, 3030 South Harvard and 69th and Memorial.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's show, but we'll see you next week right here on Explore Tulsa.